What's going on, everybody? My name is Dylan, also known as Vijax TV. Welcome back to the channel, and as always, I hope you guys are all having a blessed day. Alright guys, so we are officially starting episode 2 of the Beginner's Guide to Destiny. In the last video, we covered a bunch of different things. We did the first story mission, we covered our keybinds, we covered sensitivity, all that good stuff. And one thing I want to touch up on real quick before we get into this episode is I didn't really cover settings for like controller players or my video settings at all. So let's hop into that real quick and just go over, my personal what I would use if I were playing on controller, because I used to be a controller player. And let's go over my video settings. Hopefully this can help you guys with your graphics and stuff. Alright, so when we scroll down here to the controller, you've got, your movement controls, your button layout, all that good stuff. Obviously these are grayed out for me because I don't currently have a controller plugged in, but when it comes to button layout, I use Puppeteer, and all that really does is change the melee and the crouch buttons. So instead of crouching with B and meleeing with your thumb, on the thumbstick, it switches those two. So now your thumbstick is used for crouching and sliding, and B is for melee. I feel like you crouch and slide more than you melee, so I feel like it's more important to not have to take your thumb off to crouch or slide. And then when it comes to look sensitivity, on console, I used to play it around 3 or 4. I would use 3 if I was sniping, and I would use 4 if I was shotgunning. But here on PC, it's different. There's more frames, more FOV. So when it comes to controller on PC, I personally play at a 7 sensitivity, and when it comes to like the video settings, I play on 95 field of view on a 7 sensitivity for PC. That's just what feels best for me. I hit the most shots on it. So you do whatever you prefer, but that's when it comes to controller. That's what I personally would use, and everything else is just preference. But going over my video settings, so obviously you should always play on full screen. This is just native 1920 by 1080. Play what's ever native for you. I have VSync turned off. I have a frame rate cap enabled, and I have my frame rate cap set to 150 frames. My monitor, I can get 144 frames, and I boosted up just a little bit over 144, so that way if I get frame drops, it doesn't hit as significantly as if it were to just drop from 144. I play on a max field of view of 105, and all of my graphics quality, everything is set to low or off, except for texture quality, which I have on highest, and that's it. Everything else is to the lowest setting it possibly can be, or it's turned off, and my render resolution is set to 100%. So those are my video settings and my preference on controller settings. All right. Oh, okay, so now that we got that all out of the way, in our last video, uh, we got uh, we got here to the tower. We met Zavala, we met Shax, we met Ikora, and we met Hawthorne, I'm pretty sure. So now our main objective right now. So if we go to our quests, right now the thing that we're trying to do is reach 770 power level. There's also some little side things, like if you can find or LFG for 5 other people, you can run a Leviathan raid. I mean, you could essentially do it right now if you wanted to, but I would hold off on this. Try to level up, try to get some better armor, some better weapons. It really does help. Um, so we can do strikes, we can do crucible to reach 770. And then we also have to visit the different locations in the game. So the first location we'll have to go to is to the European Dead Zone and speak with Devram K. And then obviously we need to do some strikes. So, and then, these are just different parts of the quest. You got some exotic quests down here, which you can do if you want, all that good stuff. But, first let me finish introducing you to the people of the tower. So like I said, we already met Zavala, we already met Shax, we met the gunsmith. So let's go over here. So you have 2 vendors over here. You have the postmaster, And the postmaster essentially is what it sounds like. If you don't pick up an Ingram or if you miss loot on the ground while you're out and about doing stuff, it'll come here to your postmaster. And so that's a good thing about this game. It saves the stuff that you don't pick up. So just remember, don't feel bad if you see an Ingram and you didn't pick it up or you forgot to pick up something. It'll come here. But there's a fair warning. This does get full. And if your postmaster gets full, things that you start leaving on the ground will just like start disappearing. It won't go to your postmaster because you have no room. So always check your postmaster. Always make sure that there's room in it so you never lose anything important. All right, and then we've got Tess Eververse. This is like the store in Destiny. So Tess has all your basic like, you know,
As long as you like.
you can buy emotes, you can buy shaders, you can buy different weapon camos, outfits, all that good stuff. You know, so this is all the stuff that's featured. You know, you can come down here, and there's two different types of currency in Destiny 2. You've got Bright Dust, which you can earn for free in game, and then you also have silver, which is what you use to purchase with your own money. So as you can see, there's different things that you can buy for Bright Dust. Then there's different things that you can buy for silver. Unfortunately, there's some things that you can only get for silver, so you have to actually pay out of pocket for that stuff. But most items in the game you can get for free just by playing and earning Bright Dust. Like this right here, one of the coolest looking uh, ornaments in the game. It's for our warlock. It's for an exotic called the Transversive Steps. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that all. Oh well, no, you do have to find. Okay, so you do have to find exotics still.
Not
Um,
everything Fenchurch
but if we go over here to our exotics and we go to our legs, we go to Transversive Steps. Hopefully we can either get lucky and find a pair of these, or every weekend there's a vendor called Zur that'll come here, and he has the potential to give us these. So, but these are some of the best exotics in the game. They buff your sprint speed. They reload your equipped weapons. They're just all around really good. So if you can get your hands on a pair of these as a warlock, I'm telling you, it's so good. So if I'm just gonna go ahead because I want to do it. I have the Bright Dust to do it. We're gonna go ahead and pick up pick up these Transversive Step ornaments because I love the way they look. So if you have the Bright Dust, I would recommend picking those up because they look cool. All right, so that's Tess and that's the Postmaster. This is everybody in the main courtyard except for I'm forgetting this guy. Master Raoul, he is the Cryptarch. So if you find a Prime Ingram, a Legendary Ingram, well, I mean, not really Legendary Ingrams anymore, but, a Prime Ingram pretty much is all you can really decrypt from him nowadays. You'll see it. It kind of glows like a white purple on the ground, and it'll tell you when you pick it up, a Prime Ingram. You bring it to this guy, he opens it for you, and it gives you loot from it. So that's pretty much essentially what he does. You just bring those Prime Ingrams to him. He'll open them for you and give you loot. And also throughout the season pass, you can get something called an exotic cipher, and this allows you to pick up one of these old exotics if you've missed out on them. I would personally recommend that people, if you can, get Ariana's Vow or the Bastion. Those are the two best ones out of these 5. All right, so now that we've met everybody in the main courtyard, let's continue to go through the tower and just meet everybody so that we can get acquainted with everybody and you can get some information about everybody because, you're not going to know who to go to right off the rip. So in our last video, we met Ikora, we met Hawthorne. So if we take a right here, we'll go down to the annex. This is the far left of the tower. So once we get down here, there's 3 people that are down here, but only one of them is really important at the moment. So we already passed her, didn't I? If you hang a right, you go through this doorway, you'll meet Ada1. She is an EXO. She was a really big character back in the Black Armory DLC. Well, she's not really that important right
Go
now.
ahead.
You'll never really have to do
Peruse
anything
what
for
you have
her
to offer.
unless you want to do the exotic quests for the weapons that she has. But you have to have Forsaken for that. So if you buy Forsaken, I do recommend at least getting the Izanagi's Burden sniper rifle. Really good. She does have some things that you can get for like, mods. You can get Black Armory mods, different things like that. But
Until next
she's
time.
not really that important. And then we come back out. We make another right. I'll come back to this guy because he's the most important here. So if we go all the way over here, we got Warner. He is a bot. He is a robot. He is the Emperor's advocate. Back when the game first came out, we got introduced to Emperor Callus. He was like, he was a part of the first raids of the game. So this is all kind of old content. You don't really have to do any of this stuff, but if you start getting into the Leviathan raids, this is where you'll get gear. You get tokens in the raid. You bring them here to this guy, and he can give you rewards from the raid. But it's not important if you're not doing Leviathan stuff. All right, and then we're here at the Drifter. So, like I said, Zavala is over Strikes. Shax is over Crucible. And there's a third game mode that you can play in this game called Gambit, which kind of mixes the two. It has elements of both Crucible and Strikes, PvE, all that good stuff. So, I personally don't enjoy Gambit at the moment. It's not really that fun to play, but we will get into some games of Gambit just to like show it off, and you can get powerful rewards from playing it. So this guy is the Drifter. He is over Gambit. So this is where you'll get all your Gambit bounties. If you want to get any Pinnacle, Gambit, guns, this is where you get them. He has a neat little side quest that you can do. Because we did have Season of the Drifter. So, yeah.
Don't die out there.
That's essentially what he does. But here, this is for people who have this season pass. So if we go to our menu here, we go over to seasons. This is called Season of Arrivals. If you get the season pass, this stuff comes with it. This is essentially what you're doing this season. You've got the Prismatic Recaster, and you've got the Umbral Ingram Decoder. This just levels up what you can turn your Umbral Ingrams into. And like I said, this obviously decrypts your Umbral Ingrams. So if you get Umbral Ingrams, you can bring them here and decrypt them. They give you loot. So I do recommend that you buy the Season Pass because you can get some really good weapons and armor from this Season Pass. But obviously the game, if you don't want to pay for anything, you don't have to, Alright, so that is everybody on this side of the tower. We're just going to fast travel back to the middle so we can go to the hangar and meet everybody else. I know this series is starting off slow, but I really want to be thorough for any new players, really get a good bit of information out of there. We're going to try to release as many of these episodes as we can. So don't worry, we will get into some more interesting stuff. But I really want to be thorough. All right, so in the hangar we have Amanda Holiday. She is over like ships and sparrows. You can buy ships, you can buy sparrows from her if you want. And also, if you want to play, the old campaigns, Red War was the first campaign that was in the game. Obviously, with New Light coming out, we've kind of skipped over all this stuff. So if you really want to go back through and replay the story, from start to finish, you can buy these campaigns and play them all in order. Obviously, you don't have to. We bypassed it, but, it's really cool to go back through and see everything that you've missed. So I do recommend going back and playing them, though, because there is some cool stuff in there.
Thanks,
and it just gives you backstory, I mean, being a new player, you're kind of put into this right in the middle. You don't really know what's going on, so having some backstory can really help. So we have Amanda Holiday, and we have Helmet, or I said Helmet Saint 14. That's an exotic. But we have Saint 14, and I can't even talk to him because we're not high enough level. But he's over the Trials of Osiris. It is a Crucible playlist that is competitive. It can give you... Oh, Lord, I gotta get away from this dude. He won't stop talking. Goodness. Okay. So we'll just look at him from afar. So he's over Trials of Osiris. And that essentially is for people who have boosted their light to the highest that it can be. And it is a competitive game mode. You know, you can get a lot of really good, you know, weapons and armor pieces, all that good stuff. So I don't know if it'll take some time to get high enough light to be able to do Trials of Osiris, but you know, you put in the time, you find a couple of other people who you enjoy playing the game with, you know, you can go in the Trials of Osiris and just check it out, see what it's about. Okay, so now we are officially acquainted with everyone in the tower. You know, there's some other factions and stuff in here, but they're not important. They haven't been important for like 2 years. So we'll cross that bridge if it ever comes up. But all right, so our first main objective is to reach light level 767. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a strike real quick and see if we can get some armor or weapons that can help boost our light level. So when you bring up the destinations tab on your main, you know, on your little navigator, you know, you see this screen and you can get overwhelmed. There's so many different planets to go to and different things like that. But, you know, just take it step by step. So, like I said, there's 3 main game modes. There's Vanguard, there's Crucible, and there's Gambit. We're going to go into the Vanguard because we want to run strikes. You know, the Nightfall is pretty much harder difficulties of strikes and can give you better loot. But you do have to have the most recent DLC downloaded. So if you want to do that, you can, but we're sticking with the, you know, just the average stuff. And so essentially what a strike is, like I said in the last game, is we go through, we do a mission, we defeat a boss, we get rewards from it. So that said the arms dealer at the end, so that's the strike that we're doing. There's different strikes that you can do. You'll do the same strikes a lot, and you'll get really familiar with a bunch of these strikes. You'll be able to just run straight through them and realize what you have to do. So let's do our first strike. So you want to make sure you're running your best loadout, your highest gear. So, you know, this is what I got to work with so far. This is all the armor and all the weapons we have. We're still on our Void subclass, so we've got our Nova Bomb, we got our Vortex Grenade, all that good stuff. Alright, and so as you see, it loads us in here with other players. There's supposed to be 3 of us. There's only 2 right now. I guess our other third is still loading in. So if you want to turn on your voice chat and see if people will talk, you can. I'm not doing all that though. You don't have to. You know, you get instructions. For the most part, everybody knows what they're doing. So,
you know. My data pad. It had the notes about that thing I'm in charge of.
You mean the Brachazon strike that's already running? Off to a great start, Mr.
All right, so we hacked this little computer.
No more enemies in here.
And you get dialogue. You know, that's why I have subtitles on so I can just read it.
Zon's network is different from the Red Legions. Good different or bad different?
Yeah, essentially what we're doing is we're just running through here.
Let's not get into what might have shot into the sky and which enemy just summoned a bunch of
We're killing enemies, and we're trying to reach Brachazon. He is the boss. He is the guy that we're trying to kill and all that good stuff. So he's the bad guy. These enemies that we're fighting in this strike, they're called Cabal. These were the main bad guys in the first DLC. They're called Red Legion, but you know they're a race of Cabal. You know, there's a couple of different enemy types that we'll go through, but you know we'll cover those as we see them. So like I said, these are all Cabal. Nobody picked up the charge back here. That's unfortunate. So as you can see, the little indicator right here shows what we should be doing. Unfortunately, no one, or well, it looks like the lazy cute dog is coming over here now, but since I'm already back here, I'll pick it up. So you pick up the little ball, and you take it to the next diamond that you see.
So she can find where
So,
it'll do the most damage.
and another thing that I didn't cover in the last video was the radar up top. It will light up red when there's enemies around you, so always be looking at your radar to know when enemies are going to be around you. You know, you never want to get surprised by enemies. So we slam the ball there, and essentially you can just run past a lot of this stuff unless it tells you to do something. Just run past stuff. You know, you don't have to waste your time. You know, this big yellow bar dude will kill him because we have to kill him to move forward. Unfortunately, the one teammate I have died. That's okay, he'll respawn. You can go back and respawn him, but we're already so far ahead that we're just gonna keep going. So we're following the white arrow up at the top of our radar
Think we've seen the last of
and
them.
just, you know, trying to
He's
progress
bound
through the
to have
strike.
more. Insecure men tend to surround themselves with others like them.
And I moved my webcam from the last
Nope.
episode because I realized that you couldn't see the bottom left of my screen where we have my grenade ability, my rift ability, your weapons, all that good stuff. I figured, you know, I saw that you couldn't see that when I was talking about it in the last episode. So,
I'm
you know,
sorry,
we've moved up the
what
cam a
now?
little bit to a better spot so that way you can see more of the screen. Alright, so normally you would take your Sparrow and you would go all the way around and up this ship, but we're just going to cut through here. It's a faster way to go. You know, you cut inside here. Be sure to stay on the rocks as much as you can. You know, and we're going to bypass this big dude right here. You know, if he shoots you enough, he can kill you. So once we get up here, we'll pull our Sparrow out, and we'll head to the next section.
We're inside the ship.
This is
again.
pretty much all these strikes are. You're following the white diamond, you're following the arrow, and yeah. All right, so once you get into this room, you're going to be greeted by this big tank.
Looks like we have to bring
This
it
thing
down.
is useless. You don't have to
Don't
kill
mess
it.
with them. They
You don't have to kill it at all.
There's a tank here.
But what you do have to do is you have to flip two switches. So there's one on this side of the room, but be careful because this tank will shoot at you. So we'll flip this switch, which is right here, and then we'll start making our way to the other side of the room. And just be careful, you know, there's a good bit of stuff in this room that's going to start shooting at you, so just take your time. You know, try to kill as many things as you can. You don't want things to kill you. You know, these guys, they have solar shields, so if you have a solar weapon, I have a solar shotgun. So, you know, if you match their shield type, it'll take down their shield faster. So as you see, I have a solar shotgun, he had a solar shield. We shot him with a solar shotgun, and it hurt him a lot, took his shield out. And that's another thing we need to cover is the different archetype, you know, well, the different elements, all that good stuff. All right, so this is the tank we have to worry about. So we're going to throw our nade at it, and we're going to throw... All right, well, our Nova Bomb, unfortunately, hit the little Cabal dude, but that's okay. We've got heavy. We're just going to shoot a couple rockets at it, and that should do the job. We're getting weak here, so usually both of my teammates would be here by now. You're supposed to have 3 people here helping, but you know, unfortunately, it's just me here. So we got to back up and worry about our health. And unfortunately, that rocket is still up, so we're going to shoot one more rocket at it, and hopefully that'll take it. All right, beautiful. So now the tank is dead. We got one more guy to shoot here. We kill him, and then we can progress to the next area. All right, and I like to get a grenade ready because there's a bunch of dogs right here, and it should kill them all. But yeah, like I was saying before all that stuff broke out, was I'll go over once we get to the EDZ and we're like just running around and patrolling. I'll go over the different elements, the different types of weapons you can get, and what ammo coordinates with it. So don't worry, we will get into all that. We'll put our ghost into here. It didn't say it, but if you stand here long enough, it will say interact. we put our ghost in there. You use your interact button, and the ghost will open the door. Man, we are already almost 30, we're 25 minutes into this. It's crazy. This is probably going to be closer to a 45-minute episode.
Rakazan is here.
There's just so much stuff to do. All right, so we've got a new enemy type here. These guys in front of me right here are called Fallen. We've got Vandals, and they're being protected by this big thing called a Servitor. And this little purple beam, it's essentially protecting it. You can't shoot it while it's being covered in that blue, why am I saying blue? That purple beam. As long as it has a beam over it, it makes them immune to damage. So you have to kill the Servitor to be able to damage the little stuff around it. Alright. So we're getting close to the end of the strike now. We're really just, going through and trying to slay everybody out. We got another Servitor. We'll go ahead and take him out. So that way we can shoot all the little stuff around it. Normally, you're not going to see a bunch of Fallen in here. But, usually it's just Cabal, but, that happens in these strikes. Sometimes there's versions of them where there's different enemies. So, but yeah, we're progressing through, doing our thing. And every strike is going to have a wanted enemy. And, you can kill them. You're not going to get anything special from it. It's just a fun little thing to do if you really wanted to. I think it's for a triumph, really. You get a triumph for killing all the different types of wanted enemies in the different strikes. So trust me, you're not losing anything by not doing it. It's cool to have the triumphs, but at the same time, it's not necessary. All right. So once you get up to this part, I usually like to try to clear out the rest of the room as best as I can. And then we have another switch to flip. Alright. And once you get far enough into a strike, it will teleport your teammates with you. So if you get unfortunate and you have a bunch of slow running teammates like me, as soon as you get to the end, it should transport them to you. So, or vice versa, if you're taking it slow, which is okay. If your teammates want to go a little bit faster, eventually you'll get teleported to them. So, my teammates should be teleported to me any second
Watch for
now.
air support. This guy's too smart to not have a backup.
Alright, so that's Brackus.
Backup plans are overrated.
What he's gonna do, he has a rifle that he likes to beam and shoot you, and he also calls up these little flame turrets. We're gonna kill those things when we see them, because they're just going to non-stop shoot fire at us. And now we're going to hit him with a grenade. We're going to throw our super ability. Do as much damage as we can to him. Now, if all three of you guys are here, a lot of the times you can kill him before he goes up into his towers. But unfortunately, my teammates, they don't really know the objective, so. But now he's gone up to his tower, and he's going to become immune up there. Oh, well, he's jumping back down. All right, I guess we did enough damage to where he'll just jump back down. But usually he has like a mechanic where he drops down. He drops into his bubble. You have to dump. Yeah, there's a dump mechanic you have to do. We'll probably have to do it on this side, but as you can see, he's called up more flame turrets. They're just shooting fire at us. We're trying to get those down as quickly as possible because these things hurt. There's a couple dogs around us, but that's okay. One nade should take care of all these things. That's what your nade is really good for. Clearing out big groups of enemies. All right, our teammate went down. We're going to come over here and revive him. Alright, so as we can see, he's in his bubble over here. We can't do damage to him. So what we have to do is we have to go over here and grab the ball like we did earlier in the strike. We pick this up and we go, it'll show you where to go. We have to go over here to this plate. And once we slam this plate, he'll jump back down and we can do some more damage to him. If you don't do enough damage, you will have to do this twice, one on either side. But we did enough damage to him before he went immune on that other side, so this is the last side. And now what we're doing essentially is, he's going to jump back down, and we're going to try to finish him off here. Hopefully my teammates shoot at him. It also would be a lot easier to kill him if we had heavy ammo. But, we just have to use our special. We did get a rocket towards the end, but we got him. And he's dead. And so, after the boss is dead, a chest will pop up.
Without Zond, the Red Legion
And
will be
we
back to
get loot.
before too long. Great work.
You ever been hit with a rock?
All right.
Don't joke about that.
So we got a new a new rocket, and it's 923. So we're going to go from 750 to 923. That instantly boosts us up to 789. We also got a new helmet, and bada bing bada boom, we are now 800 power level after one strike. Beautiful, just beautiful. We're going to go ahead and delete our old stuff because it'll give us glimmer, it'll give us gunsmith materials, all this other stuff that we can use it, to help level up. Okay. So now you know how to do one of the main strikes in this game. And we've completed some milestones. And we'll go ahead and delete this Kavastov because we don't. Alright, so it's going to tell you to go speak to Savala. So that's what we're going to do. Now we can speak with Saint 14 in the tower. But, I already told you the basics of Saint 14, so we'll do that another time. So we're going to try to go back here and get all this talking done real quick, and then we'll try to go to the EDZ before this episode is over with. But, I mean, we've already made some good progress just in this little episode alone, as you see, your power level will increase pretty substantially as you keep playing. And I haven't even really talked about power level yet. I don't know why I haven't really gone over power level, but I'll be sure to do that. All right, so when you have to talk to someone, there will be icons over their heads. And depending on what it is that they need to talk to you about, the icons might be different. But, there will be, if they need to talk to you, they will have some form of an icon over them. So right now, Shax and Zavala have icons, so we got to go talk to them.
The first pyramid arrived above Io and the traveler did nothing.
All right, so he's basically giving us dialogue for this season that we're in right now.
To protect our system.
Right now, the darkness has come over and it started to take over planets and all that good stuff. So,
talk to our people on the ground. Close our ranks, Guardian, and form a fist.
So, I don't really know if you can. I mean, I guess you can do some of this stuff, but a lot of this stuff you're not going to. Oh, I should have accepted that. I didn't mean to just press.
Are you ready?
Exit. If you accidentally do that, you can just go out, go back into them, and just pick up what you need. All right, but yeah, you can do some stuff in the season pass if you haven't bought it, but a lot of the stuff you'll need it. You'll need the season pass. So.
You're here. You've done so much already.
All right, so now we're going to need to play a Crucible match.
Lord Shax will prepare you. In my arena, should a Titan stand in your way, crush him.
All right, he's just going to do a bunch of talking about the Crucible. All right, so, and then we were given another quest to go meet the Drifter. So you guys have to excuse me. I haven't really played the first part of this game in a while. So I probably should have waited to introduce you to all these people until like the proper quest came up. But, we're doing things a little out of order. It's all right. You know, the important thing is the information is getting there out to you. So we'll go back to the Drifter. We already know he's over Gambit, and that's pretty much just introducing us to him.
Welcome to Gambit, kid. Call me Drifter. Here you're gonna compete
Alright.
against you're always
We already know what Gambit is because I've already explained it. Now it's telling us to go meet the robot. I really should have waited to do all this, but, you know. Hindsight is 2020.
Your speaker has been untruthful. Strength in light.
Okay. Well, who in the world do I have to go talk to now? Why do I have to go back to the Drifter?
You ready to bang knuckles?
Oh, this is for Gambit Prime and stuff. Okay, okay. This is the little side quest that I was talking about earlier. So you can do this if you want to, but you definitely don't have to. And then it's going to tell us to go meet Ep.2 over here. I'm sorry, guys, that we're having to do this twice. I really should have waited for this, but, you know.
Unfortunately, this is all we have at
We
the
were going to have to do it either way.
Our wares seduce you, Guardian. However,
Alright, she's going to go over... She's going to go over stuff that happened in the Black Armory. Like I say, you can do that if you want to, but you don't have to. Okay. So let me do a quick little side intermission here and talk to you guys about power level. So in this game, you have an overall power level. Right now, our overall power level is at 808, but we are given an artifact, and our artifact can boost our power level. So right now, as you can see, down here it says unlocks available, artifact unlocks, and then power bonus. The power bonus we have right now is +3. That's because we've leveled our artifact enough to get +3 power bonus. So instead of it being 808, which is our base power level, we now can be 811 with the power bonus. So just remember that your base power level is what you can currently be, and the power bonus is just extra, right? So what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to reach a power level of 950. That's where I want to try to get us to in this series. Or not 950, I'm sorry, 1050. We're trying to get to a base power level of 1050, and then our bonus is going to help us reach higher light levels, or power levels, sorry. So right now we're at 808, and we're trying to get to 1050. And the power bonus is just to help you with later stuff as you continue to, you know, get higher level and stuff. You know, the power bonus will help you do more damage in things like Nightfalls, you know, raids, all that good stuff. But right now we're just going to worry about our base level, which is 808. And the way to increase this level is to get higher weapons and armor pieces. This 808 power level is how do you even say that word? Cumulative of all your other gear. So we have a 925 helmet, 750, 750, 750, 868, a 750, a 923 power, all that put together, and, you know, it's an average of all of our pieces, okay? So if you have an average of 750, your power level is going to be 750. But we have some gear that's higher than our other pieces of gear, so when you average it out, we get to 808. So that's how you increase it. If you notice that you're starting to lack on pieces, like obviously my helmet's here at 925 and everything else is 750, we're trying to get everything else up to the 925 level so we can increase our power level overall. I hope that all made sense. I'm really sorry, I'm still new to this. We will get better at explaining things. Okay, so now we're going to close this series out by going to the EDZ. We're going to meet Devram K, and I'm going to go over the weapon situation. You know, the different elements, you know, the different archetypes of weapons, and the ammo that goes with them, so you guys can get a better understanding of what you're looking for when you need ammo, and what weapons you're looking for, all that good stuff. Alright, so the EDZ is called the European Dead Zone and is on Earth, so that's where we're going. And usually, when you need to talk to somebody, they will be glowing. So we need to go talk to my man Devram K. So we're going to go to the Trostland, you click on it, and then you hit launch, and it's going to take us there. And that is essentially Destiny 2, people. You know, you'll go into a Nightfall, you'll go into a Strike, you'll go back to the tower, you'll go to one of these planets to do something, you know, you'll go into the Crucible to kill other players. It's, you know, it may look difficult and hard to understand at first, but it's really an easy concept to grasp. Alright, so we are here at the European Dead Zone. We are on Earth. So we need to go meet Devram K. We have a church here. And what you can do, if there is no indicator showing you where you have to go, you can bring up the map and you can click on the little glowy icon, and that will track where you have to go. So now that we've clicked on it, as you can see, Devram's up here. So we need to make our way into this church. And he is above us, so look around, see if there's anything you can jump on. We have the ledges right here, and this will lead straight up to Devram K.
What can I do for you?
And this is him. He is over the European Dead Zone. And so this first mission, he's gonna ask you to do an adventure, and you can get a sparrow from doing it. So if you feel like doing that, you know, go ahead and do it. You can get a cool looking little sparrow. He also has bounties that you can get for more XP. So, you know, if you want to do that, you can. But you can also turn in. Each planet has its own material that you can collect. So here on the EDZ, it's called Dustlight Shards. The more Dustlight Shards you get, the more you can turn them into him for different pieces of armor and weapons. So we have 32. It takes 10 to, you know, you can give them 10 at a time. I think it takes like 50, maybe 50 or 60 of these to fully rank him up, and he'll give you a reward from it. So we need to, you know, wait until we have more Dustlight Shards. But yeah. So like I said, he has an adventure that you can go and do. It's right here. We're not going to do it in this episode. We'll probably just do this on our own time. But if you want to do the adventure, it's for a sparrow, and it'll help you get more involved with the EDZ. Now that I mentioned Dustlight Shards, I kind of want to find one so you can see what it is that we're collecting here. All right, so right here. If you walk past this, they all look different, but this is Dustlight Shards. They'll be on the ground. You can collect it, and it gave us one Dustlight Shard. You get Dustlight Shards from picking it up on the ground like that, or if you do missions here, it can award Dustlight Shards as well. So this essentially is your basic kind of patrol area. There's just random enemies here. There's going to be things that you can do here called public events. You can get Dustlight Shards from doing that. But this is essentially just your shooter part of the game. You know, you're going through, you're shooting stuff, you're getting glimmer from it, you're getting Dustlight Shards from it. It's called patrolling. Another thing that you can do here, they're called lost sectors. And when you'll eventually find where all of them are, but you'll know you're near one because you'll see this symbol right here. If you see this symbol right here, you're near a lost sector, and you need to look around and see if there's like a little cave or entrance to go into. So we've got the symbol right here. If we just turn, there is a little spot to go down, and oh well, we'll jump over it. But you go down, and this will take you to one of the first lost sectors that you'll probably do in the game. And that adventure will tell you about lost sectors as well. So I do recommend doing that adventure because it will tell you about these. But I've already done it, so I already know about it. A lost sector is, you know, simply just a little extra part of the map that you can go down. You kill a boss and you can get rewards from a chest. It's just extra loot and it's great. Alright, so we're So we're down here, killing enemies. There's the boss that we have to kill. And these lost sectors that we have down here are on the EDZ. Most of them are easy to do, since this is the first place that you normally have to go to. So we're going to shoot a rocket at him. And all it took was one rocket to kill him. So once you kill him, it'll say cache code acquired. There's going to be a few more enemies that spawn. So we're going to go and we're going to deal with these guys. And then we'll open our crate and get our loot. We got a chest. This should, oh yeah. So boom. We got to 833 just from upgrading to a 925 chest. So we're going to dismantle the one that we have. And there we go. Alright, so while I'm here, let me talk about weapons. Let me talk about ammo. And especially like ammo boxes like this. Alright, so in Destiny, there are 3 weapon types in the game. There are kinetic weapons, there are energy weapons, and there are power weapons. And inside of those, you have primary weapons, special weapons, and heavy weapons. Okay, so the 3 slots that I'm talking about, as you can see, if you look at the bottom left of the screen, we have our kinetic weapon out. And as you can see, our kinetic weapon has no little symbol beside it. That means that this does no extra like elemental damage. It's just kinetic. It's white. There's no damage. There's no void, solar, or arc damage on this weapon, which makes it a kinetic weapon. But it is a pulse rifle, so that makes it a primary weapon. You can have primary kinetic weapons. You can have special kinetic weapons. But just know that kinetic means it has no element attached to it. Okay? Then you have energy weapons. Energy weapons can also be primary weapons or special weapons, but they're always going to have an element attached to them. So this shotguns are considered special weapons, which means they take special ammo. So it is a special weapon, but it's an energy weapon. So as you can see, it's got a little fire symbol beside it down there. That means it does solar damage. So anything with an orange solar shield, this weapon does more damage to it. And then we have our powerful weapons. These guys, they're all heavy weapons, and they're going to have an element attached to them as well. And these are your big damage dealing weapons. You're not going to get as much ammo for these as other weapons because they are meant for bigger bosses. They're meant for doing big, amounts of damage. And so, yeah. So that's, kinetic, energy, and power. And each of those, like I said, they're either primary, special, or heavy weapons. So kinetic weapons, which are, I shouldn't say kinetic. So primary weapons, the way to get more ammo for them is they have primary ammo boxes. And primary ammo boxes are going to be white, okay? So you'll see they're little white boxes that you run over, you pick up the ammo, and it'll give you more ammo for your primary weapon. Special weapons take special ammo. So our shotgun here, we have to find green ammo boxes, and as I come across them, I'll show you examples of all 3 different ammo boxes. Primary ammo is the smallest, then energy, or I'm sorry, I'm saying this wrong. I'm probably confusing you guys. I'm sorry. Primary are little white boxes. Special weapons are the green boxes. They're a little bit bigger. And then heavy weapons have purple boxes. And you can see it's indicated by the little bars on the far right of our ammo. So as you see down there on the pulse, we have 36 out of 402 bullets. If you look to the right, there's a little white bar beside it. That indicates that it is a primary weapon. We switch to our green, our energy weapon. As you can see, it's a special. It has a little green bar beside it. That means it takes special ammo. And then we switch to our powerful weapons. It has the purple bar next to it is a power weapon. It needs heavy weapon ammo, which is purple. And we do have an example of that on the ground right here. So as you can see, there is a little purple box right here. This is for heavy ammo. So we walk over it, we pick it up, and it gives us more heavy ammo. So please be on the lookout for ammo just chilling on the ground. There's some more heavy right here. We can pick it up. We went from 1 heavy shot to 5 now. There's another heavy. So now we are full heavy. We have 7 heavy shots now. So you have 7 shots to shoot at a big boss now, which is great. It's always great. All right, and so I think this is where we're going to cut it here. You know, we're already 50 minutes in. You know, these episodes are going to be a little bit longer because, there's a lot of information to cover. But this is a pretty good little episode here. We did a lot. We pretty much went from like 750 all the way up to 830 power level. We talked about the power level. We talked about weapons. We met all the vendors. We're going to continue to explore the different spots on, the different planets and stuff. We'll go through everything. So, you guys just stay tuned for all that. There was a lot of information in this video. So if you have to watch different parts of it multiple times, do what you got to do. But don't worry, we will get through everything, and I will try to be as informative as I can. That's why these episodes are probably going to be longer. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this did teach you a little something. Please leave a comment down below if I did, help you out in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And we're going to keep moving right along. You guys stay tuned for the next episode. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. As always, have a great day. I'm out.